Hey, welcome back to Satisfactory. Let me poke the continue button so we can keep on going here. I didn't leave the factory running for very long. I left it running a little bit. I wanted to get back in and build some more stuff. So where we left off, I needed to build a small amount of each thing to do my milestones and my objective. Let's just review that real quick. We need some rotors to make jump pads. Oops. We need some iron plates to do logistics. Let's leave logistics up there. And we need the smart plates. Now, I could just do, the first two of those by hand. The smart plates you have to do in a machine. What I think I'm going to do is lay out 3 assemblers out here in the middle somewhere. And make that my first real, 3 assemblers to build those 3 things. And that's going to be first set of assemblers that I build. I need ramps. Well, my ramps aren't on my bar down there anymore. Hold on. Foundations, 4-meter ramps. There we go. So what I'm going to do is start off with and let's start with putting these down first. Need to zoom it. Cannot jump up onto one of these yet. Let's start out with a little 2x3 area just to see how big this is going to be. What I want to lay out is 1 assembler and 2 boxes for its input. And wait a minute. I'm building 50 of each one of these. I don't even need boxes. Let's just build the assemblers. Do I have an assembler on here? I have an assembler on here. Now I need to have 8 iron plates to build the assemblers. So I'm going to need a total of 24 of them. I've got 6, so you need to build 18 more. We need to build until we got 24. That's easy enough. Boop-a-doo. Reinforced iron plates. So to build the 15 plates that I need, I'm going to be making many times that over the course of getting this factory going. Well, not many times. I'm going to be making more than that to build the automation, but in the end, I will have automation that continues to build them. I said 24, didn't I? I got a couple extra. Let's start off with the first one. I need 4. I have to hand build some rotors. I need a dozen of those. Where are rotors? There we are. So these 3 things are building the assembler. I think there are first candidates for items that might go down in the plains below us, under the cliff there, where we've got the normal iron nodes. work out just what I need to do there. It should be enough of those. Set up some automation and build up whatever we need to build up to do these three things. But I don't know what the recipes are yet because I haven't really looked. I just kind of blasted them together. So how big is this? Does it fit one wide? It does not fit one wide. I think it's 1.5 wide or something. And Greg keeps falling off the end. Oh my. I don't know if I can put two of these side by side on center on grid, but that seems slimmer than before. Yeah? And it fits within 2. Well, that's interesting. So these are essentially 1 by 2. So if I put this on center here, in fact, I'm going to center it Okay, I can have the ladder to the left or the right of the center line. Let's put it on the left. Okay, so we've got the input side. That's a nice acceptable layout. Well, maybe one more. Yeah. Now, it really is. It's one notch. Hold on. Is it control? It's control that moves half as much. Okay. So when you're nudging, we move by that much with the arrow keys. And if I hold down control, I move half as much. So we can center it with control. And we are absolutely centered. And that means the next one up so side by side by side by side, they don't go one per foundation. It's one per foundation and a little bit. So I will probably want to spread these out a little, just to keep things good looking. Okay, so things I want to make. Well, first of all, we're going to need the smart plating. Oh, this requires reinforced iron plate and rotors. How about that? And we're going to take in 2 per minute there and print out 2 per minute there. This means that one of these machines running full tilt will hit our 50 goal in about half an hour. That's okay. If we start it running, thing to remember for another playthrough is get this going earlier. Wait a minute, what could I have skipped getting here? Let's take a look real quick. Just for reference for the future playthrough, if I were going to get this going, we'd need part assembly. I think I could have skipped Resource Sync bonus program, but I'm going to be using some stuff from there. Could have skipped field research. So not a whole lot. So I think the way I have this come together in my head is you pretty much do all of the things in all the tiers, and then you build the factory that does the delivery. So reinforced iron plates and motors. Recipe: reinforced iron plate. Needs 6 plates and 12 screws. Okay. So if we want to run this at the rated speed, we need 30 plates per minute and 60 screws per minute. I think that's what we're turning out. I'm going to start taking notes on this real quick. Maybe I should map this in so it doesn't look like I'm doing nothing on screen. I'm just going to map my editor into the world here. This is going to have to be a little bit smaller than I like normally. This is just so you can see what I'm doing here real quick. I'll put this in lower right. You don't need to see my face while I'm editing. You know, I think I need to work out these editor things before I start recording, don't I? Let's double that size. This is going to be 4 and 258. So I've got that set up. So now I can take some notes on this and it won't look like I'm doing nothing. Let's go back to selecting recipe. So smart plating is 2 per minute, 2 per minute reinforced iron plate, and 2 per minute rotor. Now, reinforced iron plate. Okay, so this recipe builds 5 per minute. I was trying to type into OBS. Duh. 5 per minute reinforced. Which would mean that 60% of my plates would be available for other things. It requires 30 per minute iron plate and 60 per minute screws. We don't really need modular frames yet. I'm going to have to automate those eventually anyway, so I'll collect the recipe while I'm here. Modular frames, 2 per minute. I'm not going to start with my recipe files from early access because I expect at least some of the recipes will have changed. So I'm not trying to remember what they were. I'm not picking up the old data files. I may rework my notes to be in the same format so my old Python scripts work. I don't know. That will be later. Modular frames require 3 per minute. Oh, look at that. So if we build 5 reinforced iron plate per minute, 3 of them would go to modular frames and 2 of them would go to smart plating. How about that? And 12 per minute iron rod. I like to put recipes in a topographical order so that earlier recipes depend on later recipes. And that's going to fail when we start getting circular recipes. But yeah, we'll deal with that. The recipe graph is a directed graph, but it's not acyclic. Okay, rotors. So we could build 4 rotors per minute from 20 per minute iron rods Oops. And 100 per minute screws. So we don't yet have belts that can transport 100 per minute, but that's going to be one of the first things we pop up. I think I am going to put reinforced iron plates below. If we're going from more complicated to simpler stuff, I'm going to put reinforced iron plates below that, just because I think we could do iron plates first, then rotors, then modular frames, then smart plating. Now, as long as I am gathering the data, let's get the actual rates for some of these so I'm not remembering them. Even though we have been building them here in game, there is quite the possibility that as I remember, I will remember the wrong things. So let's do it in the order that we need it. So how fast am I building iron rods? So iron rod at 15 per minute is 15 per minute ingot and iron plate at 20 per minute takes 30 per minute plate. So there's iron rods, and screws. Just going to write down the recipes that we need for making this stuff. Screws at 40 per minute requires 10 per minute iron rod. What I said about topographical ordering, I'm going to consider iron plates to be my simplest thing, even though it's a 3-to-2 ratio instead of a 1-to-1. So if I were building the factory, I would start by laying out the plate, then the rod, then the screw, and so on. And that is all we need for this stuff. So we don't need any copper products for smart plating, modular frames, rotors, or iron plate. So that means that a factory building these things, and I'm not going to balance the quantities, but a factory building these things could go down into the planes down below us very neatly. Oh, well, I think we're going to do that. And just for completeness, smelting is, of course, 30 per minute. Iron ingot comes from 30 per minute iron ore. And 60 per minute iron ore normal iron node, because we're going to be working with iron nodes. Now let's erase all of this stuff that I did here, and let's start laying our factory out down below. Now I put our elevator in that nice central spot, so I may have bogarted the good build location. Yes, I did. I bogarted the good build location for the thing. So what do I want to do here? I didn't plan this out before starting for obvious reasons. That's some of the fun of this. Oh, we can turn off the editor here. If I were smart, I'd have a whole bunch of hotkeys set up or a stream deck or something, but I'm not smart. So what I want to do is have my ore coming from these three guys, and it feeds into a line of machines, and the final machines I want to have over here. Shall we build from the output first? And we have some of these guys that I didn't pick up from earlier, and there's probably a few, because I zooped them, there probably are some. Ooh, there's one buried. There's probably another one buried back there. So we could curl our factory around the thing. We've got some build space here before we get to the green stuff. And the rocks are kind of a natural division. So there's two ways I could do this. I can start planning from the end to the beginning, or from the beginning to the end. I think I'm going to size this to try to build, try to keep one assembler busy of each one. I'm looking back at my editor again, so let's look back at the editor. So smart plating machine, modular frames are going to be kind of off to the side. I will build the modular frame as a final stage here, which we just soak up reinforced iron plates and iron rods. If I build one machine doing reinforced iron plate, then its output gets split between these two machines at a 2-to-3 ratio. We are not splitting at a 2-to-3 ratio. If one were wild, one could do a 1-to-5 split and then merge things back together again. What I am going to do is split it half and half. And, oh, wait a minute. We only need 50 smart plating. So smart plating is going to be the odd man out here. So smart plating, we are going to be this is going to be manually fed with 50 each input. So we'll accumulate outputs and feed it in there. I think modular frames are the same thing. I don't know what I need them for. Smart plating is only used for that. It'd be nice if I had a bus. So I build stuff and put it on the bus, and I take it from the bus. But building a bus requires a lot more space. Ooh, how about here's where I end up. But let's bring our belt lines down here and out. Where am I going to come from? Well, not back at base 1, but across the road from base 1, we have more nodes. Editor off. So the way I did that, just the way I voiced that, I actually did it manually, but the way I voiced it reminded me of certain space games where I have used voice attack. I could so automate things like adjusting settings in OBS with voice commands. So if I can get these belts out of the way, we could start our production line on these iron nodes up here that we saw earlier. I didn't look at how big they were. So we still have the 3 iron nodes on the other side there, but I think this is going to be a longer production line. So it looks like we have 4 nodes. Impure, 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 impure. So 4 impure nodes. So that'd be a total of 120 iron ore per minute. We need to split that between plates and rods and build some screws. I don't know what ratio I really need out of my output. So it all comes down to some arbitrary decisions. You really want to make it so that if you just run and you need all the outputs, everybody kind of runs in parallel. But if any output is stopped, any particular line could accept all the inputs, so you want to overbuild, but you don't want to overbuild too much or you're going to use up too much power. This is what's called analysis paralysis. And the antidote to analysis paralysis that I have learned in many years of building complicated software systems is just get started building. Sure, you end up with spaghetti sometimes, but you can replace parts of the spaghetti system with nicely organized things, and you end up with a whole bunch of independent, nicely organized things that are communicating via channels that you then go to, to very strongly specify, and you end up with a resilient system. So start there. I'm going to bring the ores around arbitrarily. I'm going to bring them around this way. Decision made. So half an hour in, we're finally striking the earth. My death crate taunts me. Not yet. I don't know, maybe this playthrough I'll just leave the death crates as kind of memorial to, here I was stupid. So there are our 3 normal nodes, each of which produces 60. So we're going to need 12 smelters. If these guys all spit out to the south, I can then bend their cables to the west and go to smelters that are kind of staggered. That would work. Hello, Mr. Bean. Are you going to get your feet stuck in my base again? And I need big supportable miners. And the easy way to do that is just to set up a workshop real quick. Not a workshop. I need a workshop for the and we need 3 portable miners. I'm pretty sure I used the portable miners I had before. So you go there. Oh, Mr. Bean, are you confused? And yes, I'm making heavy use of my middle mouse button to pick something to build. So all these guys are headed off this way, and I am going to bring them into... Oh, I could wrap the cables around. 1, 2, 3, 4... well, let's start off with... Let's start off with I'm just going to do the smelting one at a time. So he's got 60 per minute coming out. I need to put him into a splitter and take the output of the splitter and put it in smelters. And this is my edge. I am going to put a little border around the edge, just a little teeny thing like this. This is just to remind me of how much space I don't have. I can't build anything here. I can build belts that cross this line to deliver, although I think I want to deliver by hand for the first one. So I can make a turn through a splitter and these guys need to be oriented like this. I'm going to split and put it in there and then come back out on a belt. I want the belt to be on this center line. If I put the let's put the splitter down first. And I am going to once again violate my on-grid requirement. Invalid shape. To it, I can't re-hologram that. So if I'm going to have to space it out anyway, I will put it on grid here. No, because on grid here, I would have to twist that. Let's put it off to the left. So we're going to come out and make a bend. What kind of bend can I make here? Not being given a lot of choice, but I can come out and make a bend to here. So maybe on this grid? Don't know, I haven't used this method of placement, so we are middle. I am going to snuggle this up. I'm going to try for one of those tight bends like we had before. Let's start off by putting our smelters down then. We're going to work from the smelters and we're going to squirrel the belt around as we need to. So you're not going to be on center. You're going to be left of center. You're going to be right next to him. It's funny, I thought if you did that... Can I? Yes, I can. Splitter. I want it close enough so that we get just a normal 90-degree bend out of it. I think just barely yellow. Oh, right. I cozied them up to each other really close, and of course they're not happy with that. This is a learning process. If I put it on center, I know that works because I used the same splitter going out both ways in my other factory. If I bring it in by one, I think that's where it was too close. Yeah. Is there a way for me to re-hologram this? No, I think you just have to dismantle it. Okay, so in order for the splitter and the belts to look good, I end up spacing my smelters back out onto grid centers again. That is perfectly acceptable. Now we come out from here, out as far as the center line here, back it up by 2. And despite the fact that this guy is nowhere near a grid point, I believe that still ends up looking fairly good. Yeah, he bends a little bit, but that's perfectly okay. And these guys, for now, what I'm thinking is gather the output onto a single belt, which is going to go down to the left. And I want my production line to kind of wrap around. We're going to go on the far side of the rock. I can't landscape the rock away. Let's do another pair of these. I'm going to bring it forward a grid. So you're going to be centered on grid here and here. I need to bring you in from the right so we can go out either way. Let's check how that looks again. Boop-a-doo. Perfect. And we just need to bring from there to there. So we're going to come over. That will get us clear of the guy. Yeah, that's perfect. And we are on that line, so we come from here. And that's about as good as it's going to get. Now, instead of climbing the miners, what I'm going to do is give myself a nice little lookout tower. And I can see there. That's looking pretty good. The output of these guys is going to go off to the left and go next to him. I think he's going to have his smelters facing that way. And again, he's going to need a splitter and a couple of smelters, and they need to merge so that we get all 3 of our ore line, all 3 of our ingot lines coming off of that corner. So we're ending up with our first little section here, which is going to be nicely organized, where we end up with 3 full normal belts of ingots. Let's start pulling them together. Merger, output to the right, on center, pull it back until I think it's got the right setup. Okay, that's symmetric. Oh, he's turned the wrong way. Now I pick him up. If I hold down E, I can switch between the merger and the splitter. On center, roll it until the blue arrow points the right way. Bring it back until I think it's the 90-degree bend location. There's him. Same thing here. So I don't think I could have brought those in any tighter. So this guy is going to be coming across this way. And it can be from here. I want to bring him all the way out. So we end up with 3 lanes wide on this. So there's middle lane and this lane. And we'll just stretch him out. Bring him exactly to the edge. Yeah, I'm going to end up wasting some space here. That's okay. As we upgrade things, control there clamps it to, hold on, is it here? It's on this line and middle. My idea is that as we get better technology, what in this footprint we're going to end up doing is increasing our production. And I will go vertically if I need to. And the idea is that we always end up with our ingot outputs being along this edge, starting at this end. So now this guy needs to do an S-curve into a splitter here somewhere. So kind of on this line. Yeah, I'm just going to arbitrarily bring it back to here. We have plenty of space. So if this guy is, oops, is a splitter coming from the right. We could peel him one more to the right here. Don't really need to. So here is the line. I want to bring it back by 2. And now because I placed the splitter first, that means I need to put these guys in. Let's look carefully at what our, so if I look down the edge here, we're looking down the edge of the smelter. And the way his feet come together is this foot just touches the corner. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong end. I need to look at the input side. It's probably the same thing, but let's check. Close enough. It's like if this was squared off, we would just overlap a little bit here. In fact, these may be, I may have tucked this in too close. That's how that's clipping that corner a little bit. I don't know, maybe there's no choice there. So you are going to go on center here. And just like that. I think that's about right. It's acceptable. Now, I am not yet trying to pack this into a Are we centered? Okay, there's center. I'm not trying to pack it into a 4x4 area yet. When we start packaging up the blueprints, we'll be clipping things like crazy. Because a 4x4 area is tight, but we don't know that yet. I'm just assuming that they haven't changed that since early access. The devs are pretty clear that they intended it to be big enough to be useful, but tight enough to be a challenge. And output comes this way. We are centered between them. Let's tighten it up one more. There we go. Hold on. I didn't get these placed the same. I must have slipped. Okay, centered that way. And we're aligned. You match, and you match. Okay. And that smelts him. Pull this one out. We are on this line here. There's our smelting. I could continue building factory, but what I'm going to do is get this cranked up so we can make sure it works. Where is our power coming in? These guys want to come from the right-hand side. We could do peripheral power around the edges here. Just to set these up. So if we're pulling the power to the edges, I'm going to just offset this a bit. And I really can't put that in there, so I'm going to put it to there. And then we're just going to go diagonally. And there's our main power line coming in. These guys should be pretty simple. You're going to come down just onto your toe. Oh, come on. You're going to come to there, and you are going to come out there. I don't think I got these programmed. I don't want to bring power down that line, but I will bring power down the other way. These guys are going to come over. I guess I do have to bring power down this line. That kind of sucks. Let's see if I can do it without it. So from here, I can head that way. That'll work. Iron ingot. Iron ingot. Now, I seem to remember that I had a whole lot of headroom, but I better check. Yeah, see, we're creeping up here. Capacity 300 megawatts, and we are consuming 211. At some point, we're going to have to increase our power, but that means chewing through power faster. We're doing pretty good on how fast we chew through the biofuel. It doesn't go through it very fast, but I don't like increasing power too much. This factory is going to be total overkill for what we're doing, but if I don't have it running for long at a time. Since I only need 50 of each of the things, I'm not going to put anything in boxes, so this factory won't just continue to run forever. And from here we go all the way down to here. Can I pick him up? I can't seem to pick up the cable there. I'll have to place this and replace the old cable. And program you for iron ingots. So my idea is that our maximum energy consumption is going to continue to go up. But as these machines saturate, the black line will fall away, and I won't be worried very much about the rest of it. Although when it cranks up, I believe we're going to end up with a big load. So there's iron ingots. Let me set this up so I can go back and forth between two scenes. Hold on. So you can have an editor on in that scene and an editor off in that scene. And now I could do a nice fade back and forth, and I put a hot button on that. What button do I want to dedicate to OBS, changing scenes? I already have those two set. Let's see. That one's trapped by the operating system. So now I should be, whoop. Oops, wrong scene. Fortunately, I set the wrong hot button. So, hotkeys. I didn't realize that I had a scene called Scene. Okay, so there are buttons for switch to scene. What I want to do is have a button for the transition in the, where did it go? Transition. Let's see if that works. And there's our transition button. Got it. I just had to give up a key. So in theory, these guys are now producing 180 ingots per minute. So now I'm going to go back to my editor again. Top we have not yet built, in production. Iron, we have 180 per minute. Actually, we have 3 times 60 per minute iron ingots from 3 times 60 per minute iron ore from 3 times normal iron node. And let's set this up as a little to-do list. Indent those all just a little bit. There we go. And actually, with that set up as a to-do list, I can just work up from the bottom, filling in deets. So we have done iron ingots from iron ore. There. So plates and rods. Don't know the mix I'm going to need. What sense do I get of quantities here? If I wanted to have all of these machines, one each, running at full speed, what do I need totals? Well, this needs 2 iron plate and 2 rotors. So this would be taking 2 of my iron plate and 2 of my 4 rotors. We'll accumulate the rest of it. Smart plating, we're not going to initially set up to receive automatically. I'm going to limit it so we only build the amount we need. But we'll size this for it. Modular frames require 3-minute iron plate. That's the other 3. I think modular frames I'm also going to leave disconnected. We'll lay it out, but I won't set these up. So the iron plate machine, its output won't actually be connected. Rotors, iron rods and screws. So total, we are going to need iron rod. So we need 12 plus 20. It's 32 per minute total. So 12 and 20. Screws, we're going to need 160 per minute. That's not going to happen. The rotor, we're going to have to run the rotor at half speed. So the rods were going to be 22 per minute. And the screws were going to be at, let's see, total for screws is 50 and 60 is 110. We'll actually downclock the rotor machine. We need rotors to make assembler machines. I don't think we need them in quantity for anything. I seem to need reinforced iron plates quite a lot, so we'll run him at full speed. And iron plate. I think it's just 30 per minute here. Now the screws. Screws require rods, so he's going to require maybe 30 per minute more rods. Well, let's see, 27.5 per minute for screws. Yeah, I'll call that do 60 per minute. So we're going to need 60 per minute rods. Of which half are going to screws. We're going to overbuild just a little bit. And screws are going to be 120 per minute. So these are budgeted total, planned would build now this means I need 3 screw machines, which are going to have their outputs split and remerge to be 2 lines of output. That's actually easy to build, really easy to build. Rods are going to be split in half going to the screws, and plates we need 1.5 machines of iron plates. Oh, joy. Can I build 60 per minute iron plate? About 40 per minute. So if I built these numbers, this means iron plate, we need 2 machines, 60 per minute ingots. And for iron rods, we need 4 machines, which is 60 per minute ingots. We actually have more ingots than we need. If I were to take the rest of the ingots and split them up between rods and plates, what would I want to do with them? I could do 4 machines making plates. I could do 3 machines making plates and 6 machines making rods. I could take each line of 60 and split it half and half between rods and plates. Actually, that's kind of a cool idea. Build a single floor that has 60 per minute ingots coming in, and make half those ingots into plates and half into rods. And then take the rods and make half the rods into screws. And that's my floor. And then we'll build 3 of those. But for now, we just build the first floor, and the other 2 lines are going to go up. So where is my good spot to put a floor? I'm going to run around, and we're going to look at this from above. Don't want to look at it from the top of the cliff. Yeah, planning is good. Don't need to see the editor. Hello, Mr. Bean. So there's the beginnings. There's the smelter. We have this big area out here. And area goes fast. I always want to bring these down from here, feed them in here. Now, what did I say? Half and half. So each floor one floor, 60 per minute ingots in. Split 50-50. $30 per ingots to plate, 30 per minute ingots to rods. .5 machines. That's probably going to be 2 machines. Let's see, two 2x at 75%. Gives us 60-45 per minute plates. 30 per minute ingots to rods is a straight 2-to-1. 2x gives us 20 per minute iron rod. Oh, no, it doesn't. It gives us 30 per minute. At 30 per minute iron rods, 2 screws. We're going to do 15 per minute. We're going to split rods in half. So 45 per minute iron plate output. So that's not hitting. I need 20 per minute rod output from each floor, don't I? Okay, good thing I did the math here. Well, let's continue with the split in half. I can do 2-to-1 splits and adjust the math. So iron rods to screws. This is 2x at 66%. I'll just say downclocked. Gives us, and 15 rods would give us 60 screws. Does that hit a third? Well, screws, we need 120, so we're overbuilding screws. We only need 40 per minute screws. Iron rods, we need 20 per minute rod out. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to just run the math. Output. Output needs to be 40 per minute screws, 20 per minute rods, and 10 per minute plate. We only need 30, it says. So each floor has this. So this means screws. To build 40 screws per minute, we need 10 rods. So 30 per minute rods total. Machine use 1x 100%. So the rods, we need to build 30 rods total. Iron rods, we need 2 machines running it full. So far, so good. So 2 constructors building rods, and a third of the rods go to screws. Well, we have built that before, haven't we? Well, we built 2 machines, a third of one machine going the other way. 2/3, we built 2/3 actually. And plates, this is 1 constructor at 1/2 at 50%. 1 constructor downclocked. Our needs, we have 2 constructors building rods, which means 15 per minute, so this is 30 per minute total. This guy to build 10 plates is going to needs 15 per minute total. I am going to produce excess plates, just to make this easy to do. So 1/3 second constructor, 2/3 go to screws. Is that right? Constructor making rods is 15, and we're going to send 10 to the screws. Check. We're going to do one constructor here. Can run at 50% or can run 100%, producing excess plates. So we split, and one side, we split the 60, and one side goes into plates and the other side goes into a split, which goes to rods. The other way we could do it is to split it 3 ways, which would, that's even better. What if, idea, send 1/3 ingots to plates, send 2/3 ingots to rods, send 1/3 rods to screws. Let's double check that from scratch. So 1/3 of the ingots on a 60 line is going to be 20. 20 ingots to plates and 40 ingots to rods. Output is, that's exactly one machine. 1x 100% iron plates. Now, 40 ingots going to rods. 3x constructor downclocked. So each constructor is potentially going to grab, well, that's going to make it easy. If we're sending 1/3 to screws, we can have one of the machines dedicated to screws. Total output is going to be, gets to rods, is going to be 40 per minute rods. Now the other thing we could do is not downclock this and let it, and just let it flow through. So this would be 40 to 45. If we wanted to go 45, we would need more ingots than we've got, which would mean shorting the constructor here on the plate. And that's okay, because we don't need 30 per minute iron plate out of this. We only need, how much? I wiped out my totals here. Iron plate, we need 30 per minute. Oh, okay, so down clock, so it just clocks. Now screws, we need a total of 120 screws, with 40 screws per minute. So we're going to send 10 rods per minute to the screws. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 rod machines running at full, producing their 15. And the third rod machine, we're going to downclock a little bit. So it's going to only produce its 10. So there's our plan. I just need to build that floor 3 times to get my production going. And this is going to be a 3-story building. And these ingots are going to need to come in on the 3 stories. So, yeah. We'll have to have an elevator over in that corner. So, 1 constructor, 3 constructors in parallel. 1 constructor. I wonder if I could just set them all wide. That is a total of 5 machines. 2, 3, 4, 5. I could line them all up sideways like this. Oh, but one of them is after the 3. So we really have 4. We have 3 with a 1 after it. And we have a 1 singleton. Yeah, I think I'm going to put. This is going to be reserved for vertical movement. We're going to come in here, and we'll have a splitter and a merger and the plate, and then we'll go over to here and have our 3 machines spread out this way, and then after the last one, we'll have the last machine. That'll give us kind of a U shape. Is that going to work? I'd really like to have most of the work happen over in this corner. Maybe that means bringing my ingots down here and starting from here. Yeah, okay. We're going to bring all of this back. I'm going to put my first machine over there somewhere. Is there a fast way down? Yes, there is. You can jump to here. Oops, this is not going to be good. Nope. So, the plan. I'm going to start here. So, iron coming in down here and into here. And this is where I'm going to put my splitter, which is going to take from where I am. And I need to take it out 3 ways. Let's put it here. And 2 of them then get brought together. In a merger. Headed to the left. So this is that right? Oh, 2/3 of them are headed onward to the other end. So the merger goes over here. This way, this is going to be our plates. So 1/3 of our ingots to make plates. We're coming in here. Again, this is going to be reserved for vertical motion. What we'll do is we'll bring the belts in, bring them up, and then bring them out on the center line. Bring you down here. And in there. And that forms our 1/3 going to the plates. One constructor output is going to be 30 per minute iron plates. Let's double check it. It should be set for 30 per minute input. Oh boy. Hold the presses. I need 30 per minute ingots to make 20 per minute plate. Oh, frick. This means that all of my planning is wrong. Because I got the plate ratio backwards, we need 30 per minute iron ingots to make, yeah, because I typoed that. 30 ingots make 20 plates. Got it. Damn. Let's double check this. Iron rods, we need 12 per minute for our modular frames. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to let this be unbalanced. We are going to cancel the idea of pretty planning. We're going to sending half and half all the way down the road. We'll see what we get, and we'll turn out some. And some machines are going to stop, and other machines are going to run at full bore, and that's going to be perfectly all right at this stage of the factory. So if we have 60 per minute this coming in, 60 per minute ingots is going to make 20 per minute plates. And we're going to do 1/3 and 2/3. What would happen if I did 1/3 each direction? That would mean less plates. It would mean I'm running this guy at 20 per minute input, which means I'm only getting 1/3 of the 2/3 of that output. So 16 in some. We're going to have 3 floors. So that would be 40 per minute total. What would 40 plates per minute get us? That's actually enough. So we're going to do 1/3 of our stuff is going to go to plates. So we have 20 coming out there. We want to do rods. These are at 15 per minute. I'm not going to start overclocking yet. So if we're going to be soaking up, if we had 30, we could split it 2 ways. We've got 40, we need to split it 3 ways. 2 in, split it 4 ways. Could split it 4 ways. Yeah, okay, we could have 4 machines, just banking on the fact that eventually things will back up. Yeah, okay, we'll do 2 machines building plates, 4 machines building rods. We'll just kind of work it out. We put another splitter here. Just like that. So we're going to end up building more constructors than we need by far. So these are our plate machines. Everybody going to be running low. We will come back and adjust our clock speeds at some point in the future if we care. I do care about power, I really do, but really, so if everything went into plates, we've got 60 coming in, we could soak up the entire 60 building plates. Now, if we want to soak up the entire 60 building rods, going to put the rod machines facing that way. Going to need a splitter here. One comes out front, one comes out to the left. I need to have this big a belt going out that way. So let's put it out here. Designing on the fly. So machine here, machine here. Let's put them in. So in case it isn't clear, my actual inclination as a person is to over-engineer things. So I try to combat that by under-engineering things. And as a result, I end up with this weird mix of works and doesn't work. And I can actually make this smaller significantly. Leave this machine here, but we're going to take out this stuff. So what is my initial balance here? Do I initially want to send half each way, or do I initially want to send a third there and 2/3 to rods? I think I'm going to use the thirds. Just like that. So initially we will send underclocking amounts each way, and it will balance out when the manifolds fill. We'll have bias towards producing more rods, or at least towards sending more resources to rods. And I needed this space out here so I could make the turn. We need splitters on these inputs. If I put it at the midpoint, we can snuggle it in, like, I think that's the place. Yeah. I did get it in the right place. Hard to tell. And we need to bring this in over there. We're going to bring it straight out to here, and then over and in and off by a small amount. So this guy can bring to here. Need to bring him across. So a third of the ingots go to these two machines, a third go to those two machines, a third go to those two. It works for me. So initially, these guys are all going to have 10 per minute coming in. 60, 20, even these two guys are going to have 10 coming in. So those are going to be severely underused until we get a lot of rods going. But that's okay. Come on, I want to go up the ladder. You're set to rods. So these are all set to rods now. Now, half of these machines are going to be merged together into a screw. The other ones just get merged together. So let's put the mergers in. I think that's right. And I'm just going to put this in as a placeholder for now, just so I know where the line is. So potentially we've got 30 per minute rods coming out here. And if I put a machine out here to do screws, can I do it all in one machine? So I could limit each floor to only producing 40 screws per minute, and I could dedicate half of my rods to that. So even if the rod machines aren't getting much in the way of ingots, it'll still do it. So this really only needs one machine, so which means that these three machines need to get merged together for output. I'm going to accept that because I believe that the screws are going to be in high abundance. And again, this only matters until we get our first bit of saturation. And That's wrong. Because I moved this out one further. These two get merged together. I'm going to put this on center and aiming to the right. He needs to be tucked in about there. Now I wanted to go around to the right of the rock, so that works. Can I bring them out along this line? So you can bring you like this to here. Which means we need to bring you out to this line, which means I'm coming around. So we don't want to come out here. We want to come out here. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, I might have been able to tighten that up a little bit. But this is acceptable. We're within the footprint. And now I just need to build two more floors and have an arrangement out here to take each of these three and merge them. I forgot about merging them. Tell you what, I will merge them within the footprint. That'll end up merging out there. Going to put that tag out like that. I'm going to just pull these belts out to a proposed merger location, which we will deal with. Okay, there's floor number one. Let's route some power. And we'll leave him cranked up, and then we'll start building floor number two. Did I mention that Satisfactory is kind of a chill game where you spend a lot of time doing things and time kind of flies? So power, I think our main power comes along these guys can all collect up and come to here. These two can come, oh, we can just wrap around one set of things. Okay, so let's start doing this. You come down to there. You come down to there. and feed him. I put them on that center. Might be able to. I'm going to bring him down to here. Oh, now that's going to be tricky. I did leave enough room. Good. The efforts I will go through for a little bit of symmetry. And you are going to be picking up main power from here. Just like that. And everybody going to crank up at low efficiency. So since we're running into that, I'm going to run this one belt diagonally, and it turned out that just running it straight unit to unit was a nice, clean 45-degree angle, it looks like. And he did not get powered. I can run him off of that guy. So I'm violating my own power routing rules already. And we do have screws, and we do have rods, and over here we do have plates. At roughly a third what I want. Notice our maximum consumption has gone way up, but the factory isn't going to crank up yet. So now I need to build a second layer above the first layer, exactly the same as the first. And here's where I'm going to really wish that I had my ladders. Oh, hold on. I set up a couple of machines. Let's go open up some things at the Awesome Shop, because I did set up some awesome sinks and I did feed them from some boxes. I didn't set up the awesome sink at base 1 to actually take from the production lines. But at this point, we should have a whole bunch of tickets ready to pull. So I did here, this is an awesome sink. He's got power, and he is still processing a whole bunch of stuff that I dumped in storage containers. So this guy got a whole bunch of cables and wire because I had full boxes of it. The guy on the other end got a little bit of everything. We got 23, oh, nice. $23 coupons. And that was an achievement for printing out coupons. So what are the most important things I want? I've got 23, and they get, each coupon requires more input than the previous one. I do want the floor holes. I'm going to add that to the cart. The power outlets, I will get them later. I'm not sure if I want to do them on my first pass through. Signs I'm definitely going to get, but later, when I start actually automating the process of turning out tickets. We'll sit and let the factory run overnight, and I will get a whole ton of tickets to get all the cool stuff. Again, this is, once we get all the tickets we need, I will start dumping into those things. Foundations. I don't recall ever seeing foundation stairs. Those are nice. So it looks like each step is going to be ½ meter. We've got all sorts of the normal things, the corner pack, the inverted ramp set, double ramp set, and so on. Walls. I will start bundling up the walls, but again, right now, 5 tickets out of my 23 is a little expensive. Architecture, I absolutely need the ladder. All this stuff is really nice, and it'll help me button up my factory, but I consider it to be cosmetic. The catwalks, I am considering. Let's put a pin in that. Oh, I need a coffee cup. It's just one. I'm going to add it to the cart. So we're going to spend 5 of our 23 tickets already on the most important things.
Official Fix-It coffee cup unlocked. Do not purchase unauthorized Fix-It coffee cups. They have been known to explode and attract wasps. Unauthorized Fix-It coffee cups lower your attractiveness to your preferred gender and/or your sense of well-being if you have no gender attraction or preference. Official Fix-It products can be licensed for your use from official Awesome Shop installations only. Come to the best shop on the planet for the best deals on all official Fix-It supplies, guaranteed.
And that's an achievement for drinking coffee. I don't believe that. But the subtext there is, are you sure it's coffee? And the coffee machine is still not interactable even when you're holding a coffee mug. Oh, that's too bad. So what is this Productive Packer Deluxe? Send as many packed packages as possible. Let's take a look at this. Oh, okay, so he's not going to be able to be packed because he's got a hole in the middle. Can we rotate it? So it doesn't actually tell us how to rotate a thing. I'm not sure you can rotate a thing. Go. Oh, okay. You get what you get, and you send it or you don't. that's interesting. I could have put that guy there. Okay. So I kind of suck at Productive Packer Deluxe. It's cute though. So where were we? We were starting to put in our second floor, and I now have the very important ladder that I need. Let's offload stuff we don't need here. I do not need, I'm not going to be attacking anything. I'm going to leave my chainsaw here. Actually, I'm more likely to need the chainsaw than the zapper. I really want an empty hand, and I'll have the chainsaw in case I need to cut anything down. I will have to drop some ore and some stuff in. I didn't keep any fuel on me. Dough. Okay, so I need to get some fuel for the chainsaw. Yoink. Good to see he's just chunking right along. Power is doing good. We may need to build more power units. I was hoping that we could subsist on 10 until we get to some better power. Because depending on me going out with my chainsaw and picking up wood is a losing proposition. I mean, I don't mind it. It's kind of a nice thing, but I worry that it would become a bigger and bigger chore as time goes by and my factory gets bigger. So here's going to be our access. Architecture, ladder. We're going to start from here. We're going to zoop the ladder on up. And up at the top, we are going to put our next floor, which we're going to zoom all the way over here. And this guy needs to come up in middle-ish. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole here. It's in logistics. We've got a conveyor hole. This is going to be on button 8. He's just right here. And notice we can start with him there, and we can say he's coming out here. Just like that. I do need to pick up some materials, though. Yeah, I think I can hop down from here. Yeah, okay, so hopping down by one floor like this, perfectly safe. So I need some plates. I can grab plates from here for now. So you're going to go up there. Now the other one, I'm going to have to pass through. So he's going to be going up above. So that will be another lift to a further floor. And this method of getting up is going to be kind of awkward because how do we get to the next one up? We would need a door here. I need to get somehow up to the next floor. We'll work it out. It may be up here. It may be we get this done and we button it up and we just go to the next floor. I think, though, what I need to do is get rid of the materials that I picked up. Oh, these guys are all super saturated with ore. I can't destroy ore, but what I can do is turn these guys off. And let the system drain just a little bit. Of course, because I didn't balance the three, this is the only guy that's running. That's all right. We're going to run and get some plate and some raw. I'm going to refill my building materials, and when we come back, we'll have a little space on that first line. How am I doing for concrete? I still have 2.5. Let's grab a couple more stacks of concrete. Now, Mark II logistics does get us faster belts. We only have one place in our entire factory here that needs it, and that's in our fuel plant. Because I've been designing the rest of it to peak out at 60. But we do have, if we can review real quickly, the rotors need a Mark II belt to bring in screws if we want to run them at full speed. So once we get to where we need rotors, then we'll have to rebuild a Mark II based feed for the rotor. Let's see, iron boxes. Why did I come up here when the iron boxes are down there? Double check. Let's just go through all three of them. Screws, I have plenty of screws. Let's top it up. Carry 6 stacks of rods just in case. Oh! What I'm going to do is on this page right here, I'm going to put a ladder on 0. And plenty of plates. We need a lot of plates for this stuff. And let's put this in our hands. Oh, I can't switch to having nothing in my hands? Oh, that's too bad. Now, I was thinking of dumping the ore and the ingots in machines, but there's a better way to do this. Anytime you have excess stuff, just drop it in the box that goes to the... I've been playing for 2 hours now. So we didn't need those, so I tossed them in that box where they're going to be sent to the awesome sink. Back out to our build. I get a kick out of that every time. So I think what I'm going to do is mirror the items upwards first. The trick is going to be getting them placed in the same places. I don't think I can just do it from below. I don't think I can grab this and I can't clip it into the right place. I have to actually be up there. But we can start by coming up here and looking down and seeing that we have a constructor here, which is kind of like that. We have okay, so he is on center, on this center and on this line. And the next guy is pointing like that. And the input comes in there. So come from you. We're going to come in here, which means on the center here. Just like that. Oh, I need to turn this guy back on, don't I? I am resisting my impulse to simply spam ladders all over the place whenever I want to go up or down. Well, whenever I want to go up. So now we have this guy. Now once I've placed these, I can remove that so I can look down and see that this is close to this guy but not exactly on him. And there's going to be two of them. I think that's lined up right. Yep. It's actually easier just to try to line things up with what's below than to work it out again separately. I need to copy their build. Well, I don't need to copy their build. I can just say you are plate and you are plate. We're going to need to bring power up. Okay, so we have power. I don't like that clipping into the miner like that. That'll do. Now this guy's going to need to send it up also. I think we can tap him one off this way. We'll work it out. Why is it showing? There. So he's full. And he's going to be going one above, so he can have one more tap off of him. And I believe that's all we need, like that. Where did these guys? Okay, so these guys just have their power wrapping around the factory. So we now have that bit set up. We now need to set up those guys and route this out there. So we're along this line. And I believe, well, let's set that up so we can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, starting with that guy right there. Why is that highlighted? It disturbs me when I have a random wire highlighted somewhere. I think that when I like to do a delete, it's going to delete that wire along with whatever. Okay, just must, yeah, okay, so going into delete mode and highlighting something else and then away from it clears it up. So these guys make rods, and they're going to start with this 2, 3, 4 like that. And you can't clip it to be above something below you. But power is on the edge there, and there, and there. My middle two, so I will see if I can replicate that. Okay, beginning to get a little dark. I think that's correct. Let's put the power in. Yeah, I like the order of operations here. Put the machines in first, and then bring the power around. And then put the belts in, because the belts are what makes it a little awkward to get around inside the base. I've forgotten whether I did that down below or not, but I'm going to do it here because I think it makes sense. And down below we have a splitter there, and a splitter there, taking from the two outputs that we haven't done yet. I'm going to start getting used to using that E button so I can start minimizing the number of items I have on my hotbar. Sure that's on center. Let's peek at what I did for routing here. So this was just up and then across. This guy was down here and across and back like that. So he's going to want to come down the edge here. The other thing I should probably do before hooking up the belts is program these guys for what they want. So we want rods. I see a sea of green. Check power. So our maximum consumption is creeping up towards our capacity, but our actual consumption is lower because we are not cranking everything up at once. So the next step is to merge these three and then set that machine up, and he is out there on, looks like centered on that cell. Got it. He's building screws. Missing reinforced iron plate. Need to make some more reinforced iron plates, which I have not automated yet. We're getting there. I'm going to drop a workshop here. Could have dropped it on the floor above it. Except it's not the workshop I need for this one. It is, I'll leave the workshop there in case I need it in the future, but what I need is a crafting bench. And we need to build some reinforced iron plates. I'm going to go refill my coffee while this is building. I'll be right back. Okay, that was a lot more than I expected to make. We are in fact so close. I could almost go and finish off that thing. I was going to automate. No hand making stuff I'm turning in from now on. You go that way. And power just comes in here. And I just kind of pulled it from there. It's fine. And I remember that this was just a straight diagonal shot. Cheap and easy. So splitter, no, merger. E to select the merger. And we need it to come out to the right. I could start cozying these things up tight, but I'm going to wait to do that until I have blueprints where I debug everything that is important that the blueprint, off by one. Wait until it's important to cram everything into the blueprint before I start making it so that I can't see my belts. And you are coming out this way. And here is where we start thinking about how I'm going to merge. So let's see. I can carve you off. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I need to work this from above. And I'm probably going to fall down so much. Let's go ahead and build us a ladder. Going to put the merger here. I'll put the merger in while I'm down here. So my thinking is we have somebody coming down here and somebody coming down here, but we clip them in, but I'm not going to pack them tightly. We did one over there where I literally had it inside. I'm going to give myself a little bit more breathing room. So it's going to be not here, but here and above. So there's the center, and that's where I want to bring it down. Perfect. We put another one over here. One of these two is going to come from the top floor. Now I was going to do that from above, but it turned out that doing it from below was perfectly cromulent. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. He is going to be here. Now I could have this come out the left-hand side. We could play diagonal games there. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I think I will. So you're going to be here, but I'm going to send your output to the left. And we're going to be bringing these two guys both out along a diagonal that way, and then putting them linear in it again. Which means that the holes, this one's coming from here, off by one. Merger needs to be here. I think it's here. No. Needs to be to the right one from there.
Is there anybody else needs a fire hose?
So on center and on edge. Not on edge, but near edge. Boop-a-doop, there we go. So the output goes this way, so I need a hole this way and a hole that way. So that should be where I am. A hole there, a hole there. And that's why I didn't want to bring them down inside. Oh, that is inside. Did I do that with both of them? I brought them. Okay, so this needs to come up that way. He was there. He needs to be there.
You ready to call?
Now one more to the right.
Nobody's coming in.
That's where I wanted him.
Now.
And you go there. Perfect. I want you to come this way and be a perfect 45-degree angle and wind up on that lane. I'll accept that. I want you to be another perfect 45-degree angle, end up on that lane. And that looks good. And we're going to start elevating these. And this guy, I think, oh, he still needs to do his merge stuff. So I can put him somewhere convenient. I like that this is kind of on a pattern here. So I'm going to put it here. We're going to center it up here. That. So they're all going to be coming from here, and they'll make a turn and head in there. Let's bring our first one in straight. So dead center is where our thingy is. We need to go here and here. And there's that merge. And he also needs to come over here and make a turn into his lane. Made more irritating by the fact that I've got a bit of a hill. Maybe I need to bring this up here first. Yeah, I think I do. So this has to be up one. So we'll have to recreate this on a higher level. Do I want to put these? I could take the opportunity to just move these guys up just a smidge. Well, that would make him kind of awkward. Could move him up though. Yeah, let's do it. So he's going to be one taller, which means I need a we'll think about ramping this up later. We'll raise him as well. I don't have much of a selection of ramps yet, so I can't. If I start making this tidy, we'll still end up with untidy corners. Okay, this guy is going to come down on this line somewhere, aiming left. Needs to be on him and on him. Hold on. Is that right? That's wrong. I put him under there. I need to put him under there. Merger. So on this line and this line. And that's wrong. No, it isn't. It only looks wrong because this is sloped. And you come down here, and you come down here, and you're going to head off diagonally. That's perfectly okay. I'm going to eliminate this foundation and this foundation in favor of these guys, just so this guy has a better diagonal shot. And we need to bring it over into this lane. So parallel to this. It's kind of squirrely because of the altitude change, but I think it works. I don't think that's the right angle. I do not think that is the right angle. Needs to be a little more. So that's the direction. Yeah, that works. Now this guy, dead centered here, comes towards me. We are on center there. We are on center there. We're coming over here, and I'm going to force a nice clean diagonal out of this guy. He needs to wind up on this line. If I have it come to here, we're going to start from there. He is not on center. I thought he looked a little weird. And these guys will all just kind of wind up here. See if I can keep their slopes parallel to each other. And something feels wrong about that. This guy is one to the left of where he needs to be. So if he starts there and goes up to there, I thought I had him nice and diagonal and into the right place, but I had him going to the wrong place. Again, when I get a fuller set of foundations with slopes, I may rework some of that so they're slopes instead of steps. For now, let's just do this. Okay, bottom floor is now producing, and we have our mergers set to bring stuff down. I think I can freeform the rest of it, since I have all the second floor machines in the right places. These two machines need to merge and go to there. Got it. These three machines are merged and they need to go to one of the holes. Got it. And this output needs to head into one of those holes. You lose. So this is a no-go. Can I do it if it's one over from there? Oh. Okay, so this merge is just in the wrong place. It needs to be further away from that machine. Oh, I should have done this one first. It was my tightest. good look at that, see if I can. I could put it on that corner there. Then one machine comes in from that corner, and then around from the right, so out that way, that would work. Maybe. Yeah, all three of those are reachable. So bring this one in here for the first one. We are on this center, so boom, boom, there. And there. I don't think I can clip into that one from below, from here. I think I just need to come down here. Boom, there we go. This guy needs to go into one of these, doesn't matter which. That guy's headed down. Those two need to merge and come in here. Easy peasy. Headed to the right. On center and just in there like that. And it needs to go into one of these guys. And there's plates moving. That's 2 floors. And we have nothing coming up. Excuse me. Hello. Did I leave you off? Yes, I left you off. Take a look from the crow's nest. So as this builds up, this tower ceases to be a nice high vantage point. We can watch the ingots get out to there and go over there. Here they come. It's just me, or does the microphone gain seem a little high? just noticed that it's peaking in the red when I'm speaking. Got the microphone itself turned down. Hold on. Did I? Oh. I am sorry if I was blowing people's ears out with the microphone. Apparently I had it turned all the way up, which meant overdrive. Sorry. Well, that means that half the video is going to be too high mic and half of it's going to be too low. Yeah, people could adjust volume. It's not that hard. I just worry that when it's going into the red like that, we'll get clipping and all sorts of bad sound. Let's see. Flesh out the foundations here just a little bit. Kind of like the idea of having a mostly rectangular area jutting out like this. This is a specialty area which is going to be moving power vertically, and that's a specialty area for moving ingots vertically. Because we have to merge stuff coming down, I don't want to try to pack it all in one 3x3 area. Can you imagine trying to have these things sitting in a 3x3 area? That might be a little tight. I will do something like that later on. 3x3. I keep saying 3x3. Anyway, trying to keep this in a one square area. You could do it, and you could pull these in a little bit more. I don't think we can overlap the holes, but we could definitely do a left-right hole the same way we did for the splitter coming up. In fact, now that I think of it, splitting each one out at the bottom and setting them up is really the same problem as bringing them in from the top and merging them at the bottom. So I'm thinking that you could probably do two of them. I don't think you can do three. Now, if we wanted to have a splitter at each level, then we bring it in, splitting it out, and then one of the other limbs of the splitter goes up to the next one, which splits one out and goes up, and so on. Which means a line of vertical splitters spaced apart. But it means each floor gets a diminishing percentage of the total instead of having it split evenly. With 3 floors, I prefer to split evenly. So at this point, I can build the 3rd floor, or I can plan out where we're going next and leave the 3rd floor for later. I think I'm going to build the 3rd floor so we're done with this bit of the factory instead of having to come back and just have a chore of reproducing. The next step is, how do I get up to the next floor up? Well, I want an opening here. Hold on, are we going to be returning to this floor? Or I think we're done. I think we're done. I think when we come back here, we can probably jump down from above. So we are going to bring you all the way over to here. And we have a connection to power up there. And yay, I can place it from down here. And now from here, time I'm going to be doing things very differently. I'm going to replicate second floor to third floor since we don't have ground to worry about. What I'll do is I will unpack, foundations as I need, tick up foundations as I need to be able to see what's going on. And alas, the zoop is not rectangular. I think I had an add-on that did that. You don't do it very often, and I think as often as not, I kind of messed things up with it. So maybe I won't reinstall it. There's my factory floor for the next floor up. And I'm going to put a single thingy out here so we can jump down from there to here. I may add more of them. Okay. This ladder needs to go on up. Should have built it from above. Perfect. We can jump down there to get to the second floor. Third floor. First thing is I need a hole coming up here. That hole is in back center. In fact, I should probably put the holes in from below so I can line them up properly. This is going to be a upwards. Thing into there. And this one is this way. Now, it looks like it put one on top. What it's really doing is it's clipping into the inside of this. And these holes are really, they're more obvious on how they work if you use the full height foundations. They still work properly for this guy. These are really clipping into the inside of this, and there'll be a blank spot at the top where we clip another one on top. And over here, like that. So now we have 3 holes showing where to send things. And now it's a matter of working out where to put things up above. So as a marker, we got, this guy is on center on this guy. So I am going to open a hole here. So we're going to center one there and then build across. So splitter, splitter, and this guy out here on this row, spread across these two. Got it. Splitter from this way. Splitter from that way. This guy on center and right there. And the next guy next to him. These guys are making our iron plate. And they will have a merger coming out the back, not coming out here. One center here, facing toward us. Tucked in, not that tight. And he needs to head to here. If I hold down the control key, I could go to here without holding it down, but if I'm here and I hold down the control key, it snaps it nicely. It also means if I get close to a splitter or a merger, it doesn't tuck it into the end. So that's building straight belts is a great time saver. So there's our plates. And power to them comes in here and here. And as below, we're going to curl this around through the other machines. So we're not going to get power until we're really truly ready for it. Now I need to come from there down here and out to this guy. And hold down control to keep it along the line. And it's to the midpoint here. Back it off too, so I get the nice proper 90-degree bend. There we have it. There's the iron plate, and now we just need to set up the 4 machines here for rods. Next, I'm going to go down below to work out where to put things. That worked. I was surprised. I'm going to knock the hole here. Why we go that way? And because I'm a lazy SOB, I'm going to go ahead and put a ladder in here. You go here. And then we have 4 more. These guys are making rods. Leave you there for a moment. Hold on, where did my other hole go? Here's one. I'm missing a hole. It's the plate hole. I forgot this one. So he is on that. And this is getting the rods. So I'll have to worry about how to best route from that merger to this hole. Yeah, it could be worse. I've made bigger mistakes in this build within the last 10 minutes. So one way of doing it is to pull my merger out and put the merger in line with the hole. But if I do that, how do I get all the machines in? Ooh, that's tricky. Okay, so do want it this way. So naturally, this wants to come out on this line. I need a little bit of an S-bend, which I'm going to worry about in a moment. Put it at this end. So you need to come out to here. I'm going to can't do this with 90-degree curves. There isn't enough of an offset, but I can have a nice tight little side step there. And these guys, I believe I already programmed them. Yes, I did. Time to hook your power up. I believe I brought the power just to this line here. Yep. So you came to here, and then to here. That. And now we need to hook up where that machine is, which is the next panel over from the merger. So nominally it's here. Our output needs to go there. I think we can do that. That still works. I think we can line it up to where it used to be. Unless that belt is too tight. That's good. Helps if I have it pointing the right direction. You lined up? You are lined up. Just gonna let you go. No, I'm not. Two. Your screws. And we did a diagonal on all the other floors, so we'll just do that. Looks good. Power comes in here, and we're linking from there. So now I need to hook up the inputs to these guys. So we need a splitter. Here on this line. And cuddle it up a bit. And over here, same thing. Make sure we're on the line. And these two get hooked up to those two. on this line? It was on this line. Good. Oop. There we have it. So if I didn't mess anything up too badly, we now have all 180 ingots per minute. That are now being converted into our products at what I hope was the right rates. I got so flustered there working out the numbers. Oh well, I do know that we have excess capacity on all the lines. So if one of them finishes up, one of them backs up, the other ones will come to build up the slack. When we get to where we are running this as an ongoing production line rather than just a get me 50 of each thing, which we will do, once we get there, then I can go look at what the machines are actually doing in terms of percentages, and we can go from there. Let's remove some temporary structures. I consider all ladders to be temporary. Like I said, I'm not going to be buttoning things up and making them pretty until I have all of the things I need to do that, which means more walls, more foundations, floors, roofs, all of that. At this stage, I'm just getting everything roughed out into the right places. Okay, bottom floor is backed up, the other two floors are running. We now have our 3 outputs. Yay! Except those aren't the real outputs. We're going to head these out this way. Let's go to the top here and take a look at our respective next build area. We're going to head out this way, and I'm going to use this area in the middle here, stopping short of the green stuff. And what am I building? So the key that I selected for changing scene in OBS is also the key for a custom command at Emacs that I used that pads me out. So we now have screws, rods, and plates. I'm going to eliminate all of that. I'm going to now mark done plates, rods, and screws. And I think actually what I'm going to do, this is 3 machines running at, and iron rods I have 3 by 4 by 15 per minute. Iron plate I've got 3 by 2 by 20 per minute. If we're going to do this machine by machine, yeah, okay, so machine by machine on the inputs and the outputs, you know, on here. Here I'm going to say I collect these into 3 by 60 iron ore, except I didn't. Did I? So, 3 normal iron nodes turned out 360 belts, which turned into 630 belts of ingots, which then got merged back together. Plates, we did 3 floors by 2 machines of 20 per minute maximum each. which turned out 3x, which required 3 belts of 60 iron ingots feed. Iron rods, I did 3x4x15. This was actually done by splitting off. So this was actually 3 by 2 by 30, really. Yeah, okay. Screws, we did that. Let's make a marker for what we actually did at each level. Smelting. Three by 60 iron ingots. Actually, I'm going to rewrite this just a little bit more, which comes from 6 by 30. Came from 3 by 60 becomes 6 by 30 iron, or no, that's silly. I don't need to document all of that. Let's leave this file just as a kind of a working note file. So screws, up to I jammed all of my screws on one Mark I belt, didn't I? So the belt of screws needs to be upgraded from that. And what we did was 3 by instructor 4 screws from rods. Screws are 10 to 40, so 3x 40 rods from machine, 3x 10 rods. Oops. Into the machines. So we got that, we got that. We have not yet upgraded the output because this is going to be 120. So for now, we're limited to 60, but we'll upgrade it to a Mark II soon. Belt of rods. We're going to do the same thing. We have 4x constructor. Actually, this is 3x, 4x constructors. Rods. Each. Produces 15 per minute rod. Oh, come on. I'm typing at an angle, which is silly because I've got a wireless keyboard and I can put it wherever I want it. There, better. And this is so 3 by 60 total. So in theory, I could eat up all of my ingots making rods. And we want to divert one machine, 2 screws. That would be 3 by 10-ish. So we have diverted, we've done that, we've done that. So the belt of rods is good. Again, we're producing 15 by 12. So 3 by 60 total maximum. So 3 by 60 minus 3 by 10 is 3 by 50 is 150. So again, we're going to be at 120. So wherever we merge rods together, we're going to have to go mark 2 belts. Well, actually up at the top, we've got 3 machines, 15 each, 45. That fits on a belt. So it's only the bottom merge. Belt of plates. 3x, 2x constructors, 4 plates. Each produces, and I have messed up on this before. Check, check, check. Check and double check. So, each produces 20 per minute. Total is x2, x 20. So again, we're going to need Mark II belts on our transfer belt here. Each consumes 30 ingots. X 60 total max. And we aren't diverting it anywhere. So none of these are really complete until we can upgrade. So this, in theory, gets us up to 120 minute screws, up to 120 minute rods, I think. So 3 by 45, 135. So yeah, this is up to 120 per minute. And belt of plates is also up to 120 per minute. Funny how that works out. Just kind of casually dropping things in and we're exactly filling Mark II belts. Well, okay, so we're overfilling them so it isn't exactly worked out that way. It just kind of, yeah. So my biggest thing is I want to get these reinforced iron plates out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run these 3 belts as a bus. And I'm going to have smaller factories that can chew up 120 of whatever it is they want to use. I think I need to take it through on that line. So we came to here. I'm going to do one more jog over. And we're going to make a left turn here somewhere. I could bring it out there. Yeah, this makes a good location for a supply belt. We are on a slightly higher level. Do I want to bring it down? I could bring it back down for this, couldn't I? Yeah, let's bring it back down to the same level we had before after we brought it around the corner. Whoa. We are getting some big lag right now. I do not know what that was. One lower than this. So let's just run this all the way out to the end. So reinforced iron plates need plates and screws. Rotors need screws and rods. Frames need rods and reinforced iron plate. And smart plating needs rotors and reinforced iron plate. So the reinforced iron plate is going to have to come back over onto the bus, probably on a second layer. How am I going to tap this bus? We potentially have 3 lines going there, and I want to tap the one in the middle. I think that's going to require lifting it up. I don't want to put a merger in the middle of the bus that clips all sorts of stuff. What we end up doing is I'm going to take a vertical step up, and we're going to put a splitter in, and then a vertical step back down the stuff that didn't get split away. So these are going to be in priority order. The order on the bus is going to be arbitrary. You need to come across on a diagonal. If I just bring you here, that isn't really a diagonal. I think I need to bring it out there. Yeah, that looks like a good angle. It's not the same angle these guys were on. This guy is on the wrong angle. So I really ought to sneak his guy over. I will ignore it, I will ignore it, I will ignore it. Now, if I just bring him over in parallel, I don't think that looks right. Let's show what it looks like. Kind of smushes it. Smushes it and overlaps it. Let's not do that. I'm going to bring you forward by that much and bring you over there. And that maybe is a little wider than I need. Can I do it one less? I think I will need to bring this here. I think I can. Yeah, you can't build a belt that's that short. What I can do is I can start this one a little further on. Okay, so we're going to bring him up a minimum step. And then over here, and I believe it was that. And one further. And one further. Yay! And we didn't run into the grass. it's not the same spacing, but it's not a huge gap and it's not an overlap. And I've got a choice between a huge gap and an overlap, so let's use this. Now you are going to come all the way out here, and you're going to make a turn, be in your proper lane here. Repeat for you. You're going to be in your lane here. And conveyor belt is too long. We're going to have to pick a point here to stop things. Hold on. You're not centered. You're not online either. Okay, so the proper point here. Go. So we're going to have to lift our splitters up a bit, be able to make our thingies. So it'll be something like, so the minimum distance I can go up, like there. Let's get our level for the splitter area. I think that's the level. Is that taller? I can't tell. Question is, if I put down a couple of holes here, I'm just going to try this out dead centered. Let's put it on this one. Should be able to put a splitter. Dope. I am going to do that a lot. Should be able to put a splitter on that. I think I could do it by putting it somewhere near and sliding it over. Now, if I do this right, can I, in fact, I have the splitter turned the wrong way. It looks like I can indeed clip these into the vertical bit and rotate them to clip into the splitter. That gives me an output up there and up and down like that. Let's make sure those are right. And those look right. So now we have the technique, and we know this is the right level for it. It still feels, it feels like I've got less space here than I do. Bring these guys to the edges, down. I am a little worried that I'm going to do this wrong, so let's just put these in place. Fire is in the... So now we just need to figure out what I want to build out here. We're going to tap up to up there. Maybe I will put my assemblers on the upper level. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. But I need a way to get up there. So I'm going to just reserve the endpoints here as put a ladder there. And we're going to put a ladder here. Just like that. So first thing we need to build. Oh, and we will be returning stuff to the yeah. So I need to be bringing my iron plates and my rotors back to this lower area here. Which means I don't want to build on this line either. So the assemblers are going to start out there. I believe that the assemblers are just a little bit over 1 wide and just under 2 long. So there's space for 1 assembler. And I'm going to give it a little bit of extra space so we can bring its output back. I could take its output down from the back. Oh, that works, that works, that works, that works. So instead of bringing the output down along the side, I will bring the output out below and bring it back in to the belt below. And you can sit just right here. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is build these guys on. We're going to end up with 4 assemblers. Each one taking up each one assigned a space that is 3 long by 1.5 wide. I'm going to go ahead and place those down now. And I need more reinforced iron plates, so we won't place the last one yet. That last one is going to be the smart plating. So reinforced iron plates and rotors and modular frames. We'll like that. For now, their outputs aren't going to be routed anywhere, but when we do route them, it would be by taking this and sending it down this hole right here. I'm going to do one more thing. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have... Do I have the ability? I don't think I do, but I might have the ability to run my belts underneath here. Even my inputs could come down and around. Okay, I have to open that up in the Awesome Shop. So ceiling hangers. Let's go get some ceiling hangers from the Awesome Shop. I noticed that we weren't done processing all of the inputs to the Awesome Sinks. Oh, this is a long recording today. Doesn't feel like it. Feels like I've just been going like half an hour. 3.5 hours. Wow. I want to get the reinforced iron plates done. So 5 printable coupons. We're running steady state at 700-ish points per minute. And lots of points. Yeah, the coupons are getting expensive. This is why I'm not just buying all the stuff. We need to wait on buying more stuff until we have wall mounts. Let's do the wall mounts and the ceiling mounts. I am not sure what all I'm going to be doing. I don't want to do power outlets yet. Is there anything else that catches my eye as being something that I'm going to use at this stage of the factory? Painting? No. Extra foundations. I can hold off. I could start doing the conveyor walls very easily. Oh, but there's 5 each. Five for the bundle. Walkways. All those are enticing me. Let's just buy what we've got here.
As Fixit amply demonstrates, you can never have too much management.
I like Ada. I get a real vibe off of her. It's like GLaDOS, but not quite as evil. And I'm really afraid that I'm going to be wrong about that. So, let's see. If we're going to be doing ceiling mounted stuff. Well, you're going to be coming back normally. And let's see. Run foundations out here so I don't have to worry about where my holes are. So these outputs are going to go form a second belt of things here, which again will be picked up and set up above. Oh, and there's our power shutdown. Probably because we are now using too much power. Holy shnikes. In the process of unbuilding some things, I unbuilt the elevator. Okay, when did that happen? So I'm going to rebuild the elevator. Then we're going to go find out why we lost power. So it was placed with the piece like that. Let's get it centered up. Remember, this guy was my real thing that I was using to decide where to put it. We want to bring him over and bring him forward until this panel is centered in that square. Now let's go take a look at what happened to our power. I'm hoping I didn't wait too long. If I waited too long, it will have scrolled off to the left. It looks like my production cut. Yeah. So, yeah, same as before. I'm not gonna watch that build. I'm too busy worrying about power. So what happened to my power area? I should have had power for dozens and dozens of hours. Be all red. Has my math been wrong on how long these things last? We are, in fact, drained completely dry. So if this is actually burning 4 per minute, that's 50 minutes per stack. Oh, that means if I've got 10 machines going, that's 5 minutes for each one of these. Oh boy. So yeah, I need to get a whole bunch more wood. Now is a good time for me to cut the recording. I am going to go saw down a whole ton of trees, and I will come back and feed that in. I will refrain from doing any more building. So let's see, where are we here? Yeah, I want to record the bits where I am pulling things off the main belt and arranging to put them back on. So I'm just going to go do a whole bunch of cutting down trees and bringing back fuel. I thought we had a lot more time. I will see you then.